check, 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 checking it, check, check. Can y'all hear me? Check, 1, 2, who is it? Welcome to the show. We got Kbomb back in the building.
We got smash. Yo, we got smash bros though.
We got Mr. Norris in the background. He's handling some father business, so he'll be back here in a second. But welcome to the show. I am your boy, Leveled Head. We are in this building. We are in these internet streets. I keep saying building like we all in the same spot. We in these internet streets. All into your YouTube space. So welcome to the show. This is episode 285. We've been doing this for a long time, y'all.
85.
I may have embellished on them numbers. I need to go back and see if we actually been on here. It's been several years, so it's possibly we've been on here that many years.
That's true.
So I'm excited to be here. My boy's back from Greece. My boy's also coming back soon as Keith get over here. All my boys is here. And we just ready to get into this stuff, man. Yeah. What's up? Oh, that's Kbomb talking. Somebody in the comment section already talking about what's up. Make sure y'all share this. Send us over there to Twitter and everything so they can know we on live. Matter of fact, let me do that. But man, Kbomb, did you get any gaming in while you was gone?
Just getting gaming in. On the plane doing some just some solitary on the phone, doing the game that doesn't take internet connection because neither one of my international flights had internet, so that was a bit rough. So
you was on a 12-hour flight with no nets?
No nets, brother.
Oh man, so you didn't catch none of the games or anything?
I didn't catch, man. I'm up here playing Candy Crush because I don't got no connection.
Man, Kbomb had to stoop down to a Candy Crush, y'all. I never thought the day that my boy be playing Candy Crush. This is a humbling experience. Life is real.
Is it an Activision game?
Yeah.
Yeah, it is.
Yes, we're going to be talking about that. So, the Mighty Block. Yeah, let me put this over here. The Mighty Block took place today.
Humble Block.
I got Shaq up here blocking this little boy's shot. They unlocked Microsoft's whole situation off, but I don't think this is the end of this situation. But yep, the UK came through and blocked all that. Sony must have paid them a good, handsome chunk of change to get them to not let this go through. But anyway, man, welcome to the show. We got to talk about that. We also going to talk about this demo that everyone, all these special ones got to go try out of Tears of the Kingdom. And since my boy Kbomb is back, and me and my boy Keith, we talked about this Unrecord. Kbomb's going to get us his take on the super ultra photorealistic first-person shooter game. I'm curious to hear what he had to say. He wasn't here when we talked about it, so we're gonna kind of rewind. What's that in Zelda, Keith? We're gonna recall Unrecord on tonight. So yeah. So if you in the comment section, I'm trying to give y'all a little time to get up in here. Let us know who you is. Oh man, welcome. So anyway, yeah man, we here. Yeah, it's about to go down, y'all. So Mr. Kbomb is back.
Yes, sir.
12-hour flight. Did you stretch good before you got here, bro? I know you just got off from the airport. You stretched good?
I had to get outside, brother. My back was killing me. I'm dead serious. My back was killing me on that plane.
Is that the longest flight y'all ever took?
No. We've done about 14, 15 was Dubai. Dubai was about 14, 15 hours. So that was about the longest we've done.
I just don't know if I want to be in the sky for a half a day. That'd be kind of hard. No layovers anywhere.
Yeah, I mean Atlanta. I mean, but that's not. It was Atlanta all the way to Athens.
Woo.
So
Man.
just over all that water.
Woo.
Yeah, you see what I'm saying, Keith? I don't know, man. I don't know if I could.
Ooh, had to come down for a second.
Hey, y'all find one of them little islands out there in park and let us touch ground just for a second. Let us know it's still down there. Then y'all get back on the road. But yeah, man. So it's good to have you back, bro. We actually missed you a little bit. But me and Keith had us a good time talking about Nintendo while you was gone. Boy, you see them ratings go up? We almost, all the ratings went high. Like, what? We might have to go back to Nintendo exclusive up in this joint.
This dude is wilding.
Yeah, we was talking Nintendo and they was up in here, boy. We had it lit. They was talking last time. So, Kbomb, don't come in with your Sony hate and kill our momentum. Me and Keith done got the hype up. Don't come back with the hate. What's up, full DJ Fanatic, first name basis? Welcome to the show. Says, fellas, welcome back, Kbomb. Oh, Kbomb, he said welcome back.
For sure.
He said welcome back, bro.
Appreciate it. Thank you, DJ Fanatic. Like I said, it's good to be back. I'm happy to be back home. I enjoyed myself. I got all my fun. Vacationing out of the way. I am actually full of energy right now, and I'm ready to talk about some games, man.
Okay, all right. Keith, you got anything you want to say before we jump into this, what you've been gaming on, man? Because supposedly Kbomb got a lot to share about his gaming on this Candy Crush. I want to hear how this I want to hear how this went. You got anything you want to say, bro?
Man, welcome back, Kbomb. Welcome back, everybody. We finna try to knock this thing out with this Xbox Slander. Yeah, I said it. Yeah,
Who is ready for it?
No, man. No, it's kind of sad though. But no, let's go. Let's go.
All right, let's go. All right, Keith said, let's get out of here. Yeah. You know what time it is? It's time for What Have You Been Gaming On? Sing it, folks. Let's go. Hey. What you been gaming on? 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 Gaming on, gaming on, gaming on. All right, Kbomb, I'm going to bring you in because I want to know, what have you been gaming on, my friend?
No problem. I'll go ahead and start it off real quick. So, on a vacation, on the plane, I didn't get much in. I got some Sudoku. I got some Sudoku gaming in. Got some Spider Solitary in. Some Minesweeper. We haven't talked about the vacation, but when I got back home, I had to get back into the gaming. You know what I'm saying? It feels weird to be apart from my PS5 for that long, so I had to get back and show us a love. So I got back. I'm back into the FIFA, back into some Overwatch, even though I've been getting my butt kicked lately. That's a little weird, but that's cool. I did fire up Call of Duty. Didn't play a game. Just downloaded the update, closed it out, and played a little 2K. But the game I want to talk about, I've gotten more into it, and I'm getting more into The Last of Us.
Okay.
Getting more into it. I'm about 4 hours of game time into it. The wife is actually sitting down and watching me play it, so we're experiencing it together. It's like instead of watching some of our shows, we come down and we watch or play Last of Us 2 as if it was like a show. So she's on this journey with me with this game, and man, it's a lot happening in the first couple of hours of the game. I can't talk too much about it because people are now more interested in The Last of Us because of the TV series. So I'm not going to talk about
Man,
what
that game,
happens.
boy, if you don't go ahead, well,
No. There's some people who have. I can't right now. I'm not gonna do it right now because the people who are now interested in it because of the TV show. The TV show running out. I'll be way open to have that conversation because I didn't even know that happened in the first 2 hours of the game. I didn't know until it happened. So I'm happy no one spoiled it for me because that was a surprise to me. So
yeah,
I'll put
actually,
it
that
like
got
that.
spoiled. That actually did get spoiled. That's one of the moments I should have took Keith's advice and tuned out. But I got spoiled on that watching somebody and they was fussing about it and they said what happened. So yeah,
yeah, that got me. I'm like, okay, where you gonna take me, game? And I'm getting back in the field of the game. I had to get my stealth skills back because this game will punish you if you are not stealthy. So I got to get some of those skills back. And man, I forgot how intense some of those situations were with the clickers. Man, it gets intense. Whew. Yeah, but no, I'm getting into it, man. So I'm enjoying it so far.
yeah. I think the worst one was when where was I at? I think I was Abby, and well, I don't know how far you are, but I won't say
That's
nothing.
I'm 4 hours in. I haven't.
Yeah.
I played a little bit of Abby character, but not much.
Yeah, it's one part with Abby in the hospital. I just say that when you get to the hospital, get ready. Yeah, get ready. That's the Keith know what I'm talking about, man.
It's been a minute, but yeah.
When you in the bottom of the hospital and it's man, you talking about dead space creepy.
Gripping your joystick, like
Bro, I had to walk off and get my bearings just to come back to okay, we gonna do it. I put it up that night before. I put it up like I'm good for the night. I come back with my nerves a little bit more settled. But any other game, Kbomb?
no, that's about it.
All right, Mr. Norris, Mr. Keith, what you been gaming on, bro?
Man, your boy been gaming, man. I feel like that's all I've been doing lately.
Okay.
Okay.
Finally, The Rock has finished Guardians of the Galaxy.
Wow.
Finally. And you know what? I noticed that.
I forgot you were still playing that.
Yeah, man, I had to delete, redo a whole bunch of stuff just for it to play. But I must say, the way that game wrapped up made me feel like it was the movie. How they were talking, the banter back and forth. I was like, this is like, hey, actually doing good.
That's what I said. It was good. That's a sleeper hit, man. It was one of my favorite games I played. I forgot what year I played. It was one of my favorite games. It was a hit, man. I thought they hit it out the park.
Yeah,
Welcome to the show, brother Alan Ski. Welcome to the show. I see you. He says, "What's up, fellas?"
What up, Alan?
All right, Mr. Norris,
not here?
Not yet. Nia's not here yet.
She's not here, man. I played a little Xenoblade Chronicles 3.
What?
Yeah, just for her. You know, I played a little bit. Now I'm just playing. But I did play a little bit of that. I've been playing Uncharted.
Man,
Which one?
The kids on spring break or something? Are you on spring break? What's up? You gaming.
I mean, I just game here, work, game there, work, game here, work. No, I played a little bit of Last of Us because they've been updating the patches and stuff.
True that.
I feel bad. I don't think I'm coming after you, bro. I should have went before you.
the patches, my God, the shaders are loading fast. It's like
ooh,
it's effortlessly.
Okay, Last of Us. They should have delayed the game then, I guess. He got to get a bad rep.
I booted up Final Fantasy 15. I want to see if I can get into that before 16. Probably not. Especially with Zelda coming out in Star Wars, but we'll see. And on the Xbox side,
say what?
Yeah. I'm here. We here, baby. We here. I went back to play the original Halo on the Master Chief Collection. I didn't play long. I just played enough to just kind of talk about it. It's generic. That even from the beginning, the game was generic. I booted up Halo Infinite, and it looks better, but it still felt generic. Halo feels like a generic series to me. I'm just gonna call it what it for what it is.
People here for the multiplayer, man. People ain't here for the
the multiplayer. I can see how that's fun, but the single player is generic as heck. And then I booted up this little game that came out today called The Last Case of Benedict Fox. I booted it up right before the podcast. I deleted it right before the podcast.
Hey.
It's not for me.
Grand opening, grand closing.
It's not for me.
That's
but,
okay. All right.
Yeah. That's
man, so that's it. You ain't got a whole nother catalog to go through.
Hold on, let me check the
Shoot, put all the pressure on your boy.
Yeah, that's it.
Okay, so let me go ahead and so
tell us about your nothing.
Yeah, my experience. I just been playing this demo of Street Fighter 6 on the PlayStation 5, and I'm ready. I'm excited for Street Fighters. I think they did a good job on this. Yeah, Kbomb, I think they did a good job. I played it on the hardest difficult level and got owned by the computer.
Okay, that's what
I mean, slap yourself all day. Every punch I threw was like, get that out of here. Luke was like, I'm gonna give you all these scriptures. You gonna know the gospel real good.
Wow.
But Ryu, man, they only let you use 2 characters. And I did start building my character, and I had to leave, and it doesn't allow you to save it. So that was kind of jacked up. But so I never got a chance to use my character because once my PlayStation shut down, I lost all that. So all that progression. So, but Street Fighter 6 is gonna be good. This is definitely an improvement over 5. So that's what I've been playing, and the rest has been just engaging this Tears of the Kingdom too much. We got. I've been watching so much of that. I'm gonna have to take Keith words and go dormant until the game come out because I'm eating it up. But so that's all your boy been playing on. So let's get into our topics for tonight. So we're gonna start with Microsoft. Let's just get them on out the way because this is pretty much our main subject. And like I said, we got 8 people in here viewing. If you in this comment section, let us know who you is. Make sure we can give you those shots out because we want to do that.
We got Smash Bros, though.
And Kbomb said we got Smash Bros. So anyway, let's go here to this article. So Microsoft and Activision Blizzard hit out as UK regulators block takeover. So let's do this real quick. They got blocked, y'all. Look at that, y'all. They got blocked. Shaq up here doing this little kid wrong, but I think that's Shaq. Is that Shaq? I don't know who that is, but anyway. So it's not going to go through, but we know this is not the end of the story. So let's get into it. So Microsoft's $68.7 billion deal to buy U.S. video game company Activision Blizzard has been blocked in the UK by the Competition and Market Authority. Oh, they said no. The proposed takeover would see Microsoft acquire such hit titles as Call of Duty and guess what, Kbomb? Candy Crush. But the regulator said it was concerned the deal would offer reduced innovation and less choice for gamers in the fast-growing, and this is kind of strange to me, cloud-based gaming business, or a fast-growing cloud gaming business. That kind of, we got to talk about that because that to me didn't make sense to me. Microsoft and Activision hit out at the decision and said they would appeal. The CMA's report contradicts the ambitions of the UK to become an attractive country to buy technological businesses. and a spokesperson for Activision said. So, UK is clearly closed for business. We will work aggressively with Microsoft to reverse this on appeal. They added. The report conclusions are a disservice to UK citizens who face increasingly dire economic prospects. We will reassess our growth plans for the UK. Global innovators, large and small, would take note that despite all its rhetoric, the UK is clearly closed for business. So both the company is a few people that is not liking this decision. So I guess who want to tackle this first? Keith, Kbomb, who want to come on this first?
Kbomb can go. I'm reading trying to figure out this cloud gaming part. I don't understand that.
Yeah, I didn't either. Go ahead, Kbomb. Kbomb, if you muted, I think you muted if you talking.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Yeah, my fault. I had to switch my battery in my headset died. So I actually missed the lead in. So if you can help a brother out.
I was saying.
Lead me back in.
I said, basically, what's your thoughts? Microsoft has been blocked by the UK regulators. Who is this again? Let me make sure I get them right. The UK by the Competition and Markets Authority, and there's a few companies outside of Microsoft that's not liking this block as well. So go ahead.
Yeah. So the first thing is the first thing that is surprising to me is why they blocked it. Right. It sticks out the fact that they blocked it because of the emerging cloud gaming space, right? And they said a little bit on the note of they wanted to make sure that cloud gaming is a free market and has space and room to grow, right? They don't want a behemoth, which is Microsoft, to take away some of that, too much of that market share when it comes to cloud gaming. So the first piece that's very interesting. They actually said they don't have any reservation on the console gaming market, right? They said they're saying, Sony, you're winning. Calm down. So they don't have any issues with that. But it was just surprising on what they said about the cloud gaming and the fact that they blocked it. Which to me, I thought it was going to go through. I thought this was just showing dance. That they really weren't going to try to get it through because this is kind of how these big collaborations actually work. This is what it does. People complain and they still go through. So it's just surprising to me. I am highly surprised, and if this is the case, right? If this is what's going to happen, if they're going to block this, I'm trying not to just be just being big shock ticket, kind of conversation here, but this may be the beginning of the end for the Xbox brand, right? Because we've heard some chatter about Microsoft wanting to sell the Xbox brand. I don't know if that's just smoke and mirrors, blah blah blah, but this is a big blow for them, right?
Yeah.
And the fact that they went out of their way to promise the Activision games on Nintendo systems, on phones. I mean, there was any device that wasn't Sony. They were saying we could put Call of Duty on it, right? And that was them trying to show the people who's deliberating this that, hey, look, we're trying to be fair. And the fact that even with all of that, they still told them no. I don't know, man. This just. It just does not bode well for the Xbox brand. And then you have the Xbox brand who spent the whatever $1 million for Bethesda, and their first big Xbox exclusive title is being dragged in the mud for being 30 frames per second.
I forgot. I meant to put that was another topic we got. We got to talk. We got to talk about that.
I don't want it to be shock and awe. I don't want it to just be, just be the the YouTube guy that just want to say stuff, and just not know the repercussions of what you're saying, or just saying stuff because it seems cool to say. If you connect the dots, it really starts to look like the beginning of the end. I hope it's not, right. I hope Microsoft can recover and bounce back. But this was their big move, and it to be shot down this way, I don't know, man. It doesn't look good.
Let me read this real quick, Keith, and I'm gonna give you the floor. So, Activision's CEO Bobby Kotick, ain't that the one that got caught up in the?
Yeah, that's him. That's him. He trash.
Told staff it was not. Told staff it was not the news. Let me pull this over here. It was not. I pulled up a different article that had a little bit more detail. It was not the news we wanted, but it is far from the final word on this deal. We will, like the other article said, we will reassess our growth plans for the UK. The company said in a separate statement, global investors, large and small, would take note that despite all its rhetoric, the UK is clearly closed for business. So, giving you the floor, Keith, with this whole cloud gaming being the reason, what's your thoughts?
I love it. No, just playing. Kbomb says it though. No, I'm gonna be for real. I'm not gonna try to do the slander. But Kbomb said some stuff to me that made me think. I never considered the fact that Xbox could close its doors. And I'm literally sitting there thinking to myself, why are they fighting so hard to grab one of the biggest companies in Activision, to grab Call of Duty, to grab thank you. All right, good night. To grab Call of Duty, Candy Crush, to grab all of these games.
Warcraft, Overwatch,
all of these games, and it because they're trying to solidify a position in gaming. That people want these games, so people are going to have to come to Xbox. So we're basically saying we matter. You know what I mean? Like Nintendo has Nintendo games, you have Zelda, you have Mario, you have all those things, and then when Sony they got their games, Xbox literally has nothing. So they're trying to buy something to say, hey, to their investors, to Microsoft themselves, to say, hey, we actually have a position. Look what we own. You know what I mean? It's kind of like having patents. Even if we never use these patents, but we have them, and if anybody want to use them, they got to come through us.
Yep.
So when Kbomb said that, I was like, wow, that could be why they're fighting so hard to get this. Because as a gamer, as a consumer, it doesn't make sense. I'm going to be able to play these games anywhere, anyway. You know what I mean? I can play Call of Duty, Overwatch, whatever. I can play it. But now it kind of just makes sense since he said that. But I did a little digging on the what was that, Windows Central, and then I went to the tweet, and then I went to the cloud gaming concerns. So I'm gonna read a little bit of this out of order to kind of give some information on the UK and their cloud gaming market.
I'm starting to see. Okay.
Huh?
No, I'm reading another article. Go ahead though, but I'm seeing why they going the way they going with it.
Okay.
It was never about Call of Duty. It was always about cloud gaming. Go ahead.
Right, that don't make sense to me, but okay. Microsoft already accounts for an estimated 60 to 7% of the global cloud gaming services and has other important strengths in cloud gaming, from owning Xbox, the leading PC operating system Windows, and a global cloud computing infrastructure Azure and Xbox cloud gaming. And I'm gonna go back up, and it says Microsoft has a strong position in cloud gaming services, and the evidence available to the CMA showed that Microsoft will find it commercially beneficial to make Activision games exclusive to their own cloud gaming service. So you think about Amazon, Nvidia even has something out there.
GeForce, right?
Yeah, the GeForce now. And if Microsoft controls Call of Duty, one of the biggest things, because imagine if Nintendo goes up, Sony goes up, and they never get into cloud gaming, Microsoft has a monopoly. And it says the deal would reinforce Microsoft's advantage in the market by giving it control over important gaming content such as Call of Duty, Overwatch, and World of Warcraft. The evidence available to the CMA indicates absent the merger, Activision would start providing games via clouds in the foreseeable future. I'm gonna say this last thing. The cloud allows UK gamers to avoid buying expensive gaming consoles and PCs and gives them much more flexibility and choice as to how to play, allowing Microsoft to take such a strong position in the cloud gaming market just as it begins to grow rapidly would risk undermining the innovation that is crucial to the development of these opportunities.
Right.
So it's a lot deeper than just the games. Microsoft it's kind of like what's that thing now where you can like buy real estate online but it's virtual. What is it called?
It's on the metaverse.
Metaverse. It's kind of like buying stake in metaverse right now because eventually it's going to take off. And if you got like half or 60% of metaverse already, you're already financially you got the monopoly over that too. So I guess they're trying to prevent Microsoft from getting that foothold. You can still have Call of Duty on your cloud services, but you can't be the reason. You can't be the only one. Is basically what they're saying.
Right. I'm gonna read this real quick and kind of adds to what you said, Keith. It says the ruling was an indication that regulators around the world are broadening their antitrust lens to include emerging markets and are intent on helping to shape them before a handful of giant companies can dominate them. A failure to gain approval in a large market like Byzantine or the United States could force Microsoft to walk away from the acquisition, even though another regulator body in the European Union has not made a final decision. So this is targeted at companies like Microsoft, Amazon, Apple, and Google and Meta, Facebook's parent company. So what Keith said is actually what it is. This had really nothing to do with what Sony was trying to block.
Right.
Sony may have caused them to look into this and see something that I don't even know if Sony was even looking at it from this lens, but
I don't remember too many of them complaining about cloud.
So Sony may have caused them to dive into it, and then they discovered, wait a minute. Like Keith said, Microsoft already owns this much of this market, and this is a up-and-coming developing space that is still in its infancy. If we let Microsoft make this acquisition, that gives them a foothold on it, and it's going to suffocate anything else trying to come up. They become just like they are in with computers and stuff.
The PC space.
Yeah, they already basically dominate that because no one can compete because they got everything you buy is outside of Apple is most likely Microsoft. So
that's like they did with internet browsers and everything.
Right. So you talking about tons of information and everything that they gather. That's why Bill Gates over here making these pathogens and all this stuff that, like, why is he doing, bruh? Anyway, so that's not gaming. But my point is, looking at it from this angle, I'm not mad that they blocked it. I think they are doing the right thing now that I see is bigger than Call of Duty and just acquiring Activision. They're trying to block Microsoft from having pure reign in a infancy of cloud gaming and what that can become. So I think it's a good thing that they did it. Any other thoughts on it?
Man, make some games, man. Now that this is blocked, now that this is over. It's over. Go make some games now. That's it's time to go get. You know what I'm saying? Like, you got all these developers they got 23 developers. It's time to get back to gaming now.
Right.
Like, now it don't matter if you first, second, or third. I'm a person who can play everything. You know, not everybody can do that, but I think more people can play that nowadays, right? I don't have a problem playing Xbox games. I just want them to be good games. So now that y'all don't got blocked, don't be trying to submit additional proposals and all this other stuff.
No, they are countering.
Let it go. Master. Oh, I wanted to say something. I have been thinking about this since the last podcast. Since we've been talking about Mario. Me and Level was talking about Mario and how well that movie was done, and the nostalgia that was in that movie. It just made me think Microsoft doesn't respect their IPs, because you look at the show, the Halo show. You look at all the things that they're doing, and it's like you got a lot of IPs that y'all have no respect for them, and that's why they can't grow. That's why they can't be the things that y'all want them to be. Sony respects God of War, Uncharted, Nathan Drake, all that other stuff. Microsoft does not respect their IPs, and it shows. And that's why in this current gaming space that they're in, that's why they're last place.
Right.
In my opinion.
So they don't. I mean, okay. So you're right on the money, Keith. They trying to buy the market instead of putting the work in to win the hearts of gamers. They're trying to buy the gamers. They're trying to buy the games that the gamers love rather than create the games that gamers come to love. So they trying to leapfrog over the middle part. So they trying to go from A to Z instead of B, C, and D. But Kbomb, you brought up what was that, Redfall, right?
Yep.
So what's the word with this game? So Redfall is launching at 30 frames per second only, quality mode. So is that a problem, or what's the issue here?
Well, the thing is that they kind of made us think about, not that next gen will be 60 frames per second, right? And that was kind of Xbox's thing. They're the most powerful system on the market, and they're setting the standard of 60 frames per second being next gen, and right, and they gave flack for other games coming out and not being 60, so it was kind of a big deal, and it was a lot of flack caught because of that. And so the fact that Redfall, which is the next big thing out for Xbox right now, and is struggling out here with 30 frames per second, it's not a good look, right? It is not a good look for them to come out the gate like this. And so it was already not high on people's lists, and this is kind of just even pushed it further down when you see that it's going to be 30 frames per second. So
okay, so let me read it. I got the article up. So
yeah,
so Redfall will be locked to 30 frames per second on Xbox at launch. Arkane and Bethesda says that a performance mode will arrive post launch. So this is, I guess, so now I'm understanding what's going on. So unlike most games that come out to systems and they have various modes to play, you have performance mode, you have quality mode, then you have that kind of blended where you can kind of get some of the ray tracing and performance mode with ray tracing. I know that's what Ratchet and Clank had. And also Spider-Man Miles Morales had that same mode. So this game is only launching with a quality mode, and it's capped, which has been the case for most of them, at 30 frames per second. And the performance mode that most chooses to play at, because most folks want the 60 frames, because when I play performance over quality, even though the quality may technically supposed to look better, the 60 frames just looks, to me, is the way to play. Butter. So I mean, that puts it in a different perspective, but this still is not how you launch a game, which goes back to what Keith was saying. Somewhere Microsoft is not. Somewhere they need to go in and clean up something. Like, who is making the decisions here? Who is allowing these things to happen? Are they rushing the game? Are they in such a dire place that they look, I know y'all not ready, but we need something. Put it out in pieces. We just need something. That's what it seemed like to me. Like, We ain't getting this Activision deal done. We don't have a first. I think somebody said Microsoft didn't have not one first person.
First
one
party.
first party exclusive. Was it all of 2022 or
Something like that. Yeah. Yeah, I saw that
and
too.
up to now, right?
Yep.
So they
That's rough.
need something.
That's rough.
At this point, they need something from all these studios they bought. They didn't buy Bethesda, but it seems like I think they probably regret buying Bethesda too because I think they
They did
realized
not buy Bethesda for 30 frames per second. I'll tell you
right. So I think the game is not ready, and Microsoft, the corporates and the suits saying, "Look, I don't care if it's not ready. Put it out in whatever condition you got it, and we'll what's the word? We'll patch it.
We'll make it work.
We'll make it work." Because I was like, well, I thought they always released the quality mode in first 30 frames per second, but you don't have a performance mode at all. So, yeah, this is jacked up. Keith, you got something to add to this, bro?
Not the devilish laugh.
No, I've already actually pre-downloaded the game on PC. But
On PC.
Look how he slid that in there.
come on, man. After how many years did y'all say? Don't matter. It's too long. Man, we used to get so much slander as a Nintendo fan. We used to get so much slander.
For your dry seasons.
Dry seasons, man. Y'all having a straight dry season after all of these acquisitions, man. It makes no sense. And then every single time a game is set to release, whether it's Halo, Redfall, I got questions about Starfield. Whatever game is set to come out, it's always this controversy surrounding it, and it doesn't help.
It's not even fake controversy. It is real controversy.
It's real. There
They
should be
fumbling the
no
ball,
reason
man.
that this game should be coming out at 30 frames a second, and you got people defending it, talking about, oh, they're gonna patch it later. No.
But that's the thing. They don't even give you a date of when that later will be.
Launch is what they said.
Post-launch, post-launch as in a few weeks, like what they did with Splatoon. They told us one part was going to come. Nintendo gave the date when the other part was going to come. Microsoft's not even giving you Xbox is not even giving you a date when the performance modes will show up. So
It's ready when it's ready.
And don't release the game.
right. That's why I said the
Gotta get that
suits.
money.
I think this is a suits situation more so than developers. Fanatics said too many developers seem to be dependent on patches to bail them out of bad game performance launches.
Star Wars.
Okay,
I agree.
okay. Let me talk here because
Okay.
Because I understand the software development life cycle. I work with developers. I am a developer, and I work with developers every day. I work with managers, and I work with directors, and I work with vice VPs. And I'm going to say this again for everyone. It is not the developer's decision to put a game out that needs patches. I am telling you. I do this every day. And I'm also going to tell you that every game deserves patches before it comes out. I understand that there is a backlog of defects in any product now that is put out there. There is a backlog of defects. What we do in the software in the software cycle is we determine what is important to be fixed now, what is important to be fixed later. There's always defects.
Right.
And I make sure people understand because people want to blame developers. A developer has no real say when it comes to putting the game out. That is done by there's higher levels that make that decision, and it is most likely never a developer's decision to continue with a product that has bugs.
I think. Go ahead, Keith.
I was gonna say, Kbomb, you be proud of me, man. I retweeted something today about I was like, man, I almost bought a PS5 because somebody was talking bad about the PC, and I was like, I bought a new graphics card, and this dude was like, same here, bro. These crappy ports only expose how lazy these developers are. And I responded. I thought about you, and I said,
Thank you, sir.
One could argue that the higher ups are pushing these games to be released before they are ready. So
yeah, the budget.
I'll tell you from my personal experience. So I am a part of QE or QA. I'm part of quality.
Kbomb, hold up.
What
Read
up?
what first name basis said. he said, "Thank you, Kbomb. I'll take my seat now."
No, it wasn't a jab at you. I heard it too many times because I'll tell you this. I'll tell you this story really quickly. So I work in quality on my job, and I'm responsible. I'm a lead at my job. I am responsible for the quality of the application that we put out. There was a bug There was a defect we had in our billing system, and there was a feature in this release that they wanted to get out. They had to get this. They made commitments to our business partners, and we had to get this release out. But there were bugs, and there were our test cases were failing in billing, and I understand that I don't mess with billing. So me being a lead, what I told them is that I do not recommend releasing this product as is. And I put my foot down. I said I am not going to certify. And like I said, this was I believe Apple was waiting for this piece of technology to come out. That's what it was. Apple was waiting for it. And I told my directs I am not going to sign off on this in the state that is in, because we are going to introduce defects in billing, which is our money. And what happened was they went in, they got a business analyst to come in and see how often that issue or that bug we had in the system actually happens. And they found out it was a low case of happening, and they pushed the new release anyway. So when I tell you, I am telling you from experience that it is not the developers. I try to prevent that release from coming out. They said that is needed. Apple's waiting for this release, and we're going to understand and take the risk and release the product. So before people go and blame developers for crappy products, I am assuring you that 95% of the time it is not the developers. Some developers are just bad and they're not getting the job done fast enough. But the fact that product is on shelves is not because of the developers.
I agree with you, and I believe in this situation. It's a combination of Microsoft misgauging. Is that the right way to say that? Misgage. I don't think that's right. Slap yourself. Right?
Slap yourself.
That's the word I'm looking for. Not assessing properly what they were purchasing, who they were purchasing, and the history of Bethesda. Now, Bethesda has always had, I think, on both sides of what Kbom's saying, the suits have always been a problem for Bethesda. And I believe what Fanatic is saying, or First Name Basis is saying, also is true with Bethesda, that the developers have created a culture, or a culture has been created there that maybe the developers have become acquainted to where, because of the higher-ups that make the decision, like you said, Kbomb, to push stuff out before it's ready, that creates a culture to where, okay, they're going to push it out anyway, so we're going to do this, and this, because they're going to want it out, and we'll patch it up afterwards, right? So Microsoft swoops in, and that's the culture of the company. But now you under a new head, yet the culture is still the same. We have never dealt with all the bugs and all the issues of our games, and we've always had delays, and we've always had pushbacks like they've been having. And because I'm reading here, and it was talking about how it was already pushed back out of 2022. So Redfall was supposed to be in here in 2022, and it looks like they need to push it back even farther to make sure all these modes is available. But the suit's like, look, Microsoft, look, we need something now. We bought y'all. When did they buy them? Last year?
I think it was
The
2
year
years
before
ago.
them.
Yeah. I think it was
So
21.
21, they bought them in 21. They haven't got anything of significance that's exclusive from them yet.
Exclusive,
And now they are being blocked by getting this Activision Blizzard deal done. They taking blows left and right because I believe Game Pass it may be successful. I believe people are starting to grow irritated with, Game Pass. I think they want some, when you got Sony and Nintendo and others putting pressure on you, all these first party titles, Microsoft gonna want that same gamers gonna want that same, that same treatment. They gonna want some first name titles to make them feel good about their system that you can't get that game anywhere else. Where everything they playing, you can get it everywhere else. And you don't have a Tears of the Kingdom to look forward to. And then the game you've been hoping to be a game that you can be proud of as a Xbox fan. Now they give you this nonsense with but it's the quality mode which most folks don't play in. So it's basically you telling me to not play the game at all until you release this patch. So yeah, they balling backwards right now, man. They balling backwards.
Yeah.
I think they underestimated the problems with Bethesda as a company, not just the developers, but as a company, bro. I think it's a culture there that has maybe started with the suits that has bled over into the culture of how they develop games all the way around. And it may have undermined their developers because they acquiesced to the culture that was presented to them, and they just fell in line. Now you got all these kind of half-cooked products that they put out. That's always been Bethesda's thing. They always put out glitched up, not really ready, but we put it out anyway, and we send out patches to fix all the problems. That's been their MO for a minute. That's why I don't play Bethesda games. First of that, none of their games interest me, but that's been their MO. So the season with Microsoft, I think Microsoft really didn't assess who they were buying. Because
I think they knew. I think they just needed something.
I know they needed something.
I think they knew who they were buying, and they just needed something.
Yeah,
and so even if it's a bad something is still something.
But I don't think they came by. How this looking? I don't think they was expecting it to be this long. look, like Keith said. What's the other game?
No. I'm gonna say this. Let me say this real quickly. I'm gonna let you have what you're gonna say.
DJ Fanatic, I'm gonna go ahead and take my seat too. You just push me on out the way like you on the football field. Just push me out the way, Kbomb.
Your statement sounds like Laker fans with Westbrook.
Oh, don't do that. Don't do that. I'm finna get deep voice on you now.
What you got with Westbrook
I'm finna get deep voice on you now.
Exactly what you paid for.
You did not have to bring the Lakers up.
Anything different.
Nope.
It was exactly what you paid for.
No,
it is the truth.
Key.
I'm sorry, Laker fans.
Key.
He gone. He balling. Yeah, he still lost the game for the Clippers 2 games ago. What you talking about? He lost the game for him. Got to turn the ball over in the last minute. You get what you get. It is Westbrook. And you think you're getting something else, but you got Westbrook. You bought Westbrook.
Now can I hush it up now? Let me come in. Hush on up. Yes, they underestimated the problems of Westbrook. Yes, they did. You gave me the perfect example. The Lakers did not believe
what you thought you were getting.
No, they didn't. They thought they was getting something else. And as soon as Westbrook got in there, began to stank up the joint.
It's the same.
Yeah, but they thought, with the LeBron and the Laker Nation and the culture, they thought they could fix this problem of a player, and that's what Microsoft did with Bethesda. We can just bring them over here. We can help them get their times down. We got the budget. We got all that. Now they realizing, man, this. I see why. I see why now.
Let's pause
Go
for just a second, man. Shout out to the New York Knicks, man. What's going on, man?
Yeah, shout out to them.
Oh my God, they
Congratulations.
are worse than the Xbox fans. They've been,
Yeah.
they've been having.
I know
bad,
Dallas
bad
mad
seasons.
at that move they made. Dallas
Man.
probably mad they sent that boy to New York. But
Congratulations.
anyway, that is real, Keith. Good one. So, yeah, I don't know. Bethesda is not doing anything for Microsoft right now.
They're not winning for him, I'll tell you that.
We still don't know when we're going to get, what's that other game that they showed several times, but haven't getting no.
Starfield.
No,
Not
you talking about
Starfield, Hellblade.
Oh, Hellblade. Lord have
And I
mercy.
believe Starfield going to have problems too.
I don't know. Ninja Theory is a pretty decent company. I don't
Man,
know why
you
it's
saw
taking
that
so
slow.
long.
You saw that slow game, man, that they showed. You saw that stuff, y'all.
It's
Like,
the same
man,
slow game that the first one was.
Microsoft made it.
Too.
Now that I look back on it, okay, let me ask this. We'll move on. Do you think Microsoft regretting buying Bethesda?
I think they may be regretting it. Like I said, I think I like your example of Westbrook. Is that they thought
Well,
they were
you
going to
made
change
it.
him.
I just
No,
went with it.
I like your change to it. I like your change to it. And I feel that's similar to what Xbox is saying, Microsoft is saying that we thought we could make it better, but this is Bethesda. This is why they make crappy games sometimes. It's like
Right.
This is. Like, what were we thinking? We thought we could do something better because to spend that type of money and to get a game 30 frames per second at launch, like, that's laughable, man.
Yeah.
That's laughable.
Yeah, and that's what I meant by I was saying. I think Bethesda culture is just bad all the way around, and Microsoft, even being under Microsoft, it's like I don't want to use this analogy.
Maybe they're not good programmers.
You can't make a wife. Remember, you ever heard that? You can't make I ain't gonna say it, but you
Can't
give
polish a turd.
Yeah, you can't. You're right. So I'm not even trying to say that, but Bethesda has been what it's been for years. This has been their thing.
They are who we thought they were.
Right, and they've been this for years, and they this under Microsoft. Microsoft has never done this. This is not, even though Microsoft needs some developers, when it came to what they done, they got it out, and it was quality when it was put out. Gears of War, they fumbled Halo at the announcement of Halo, but they fixed that and put it out, and it is. Bethesda is doing Bethesda things under Microsoft. So this is a culture there. And I think it may be time for Microsoft to totally revamp who over there running that. They may need to move some of them folks out the way and deal with them developers and make sure that these developers got all the tools they need. They can change the whole culture there with Bethesda. That's what they probably need to do. Not just buy them, but really transform them inside out. Hey, okay, this culture, we bought y'all. You have money.
Microsoft Studios is doing. We acting like Microsoft Studios is out here killing it.
They not, but they don't do this
You
stuff.
want them to change the culture? They can't even get right in their own. Organization.
We get Forza. Lord,
Please
we get
stop.
Forza and it be ready to go. Give it to us. We got Halo.
You don't even believe what you're saying. You don't even believe what you are saying right now.
I don't believe nothing I'm saying right now. Anyway, we're not gonna dump on Microsoft tonight, y'all. We're not gonna dump on them. So, any final thoughts on them, Keith? Anything? We can move on. So, Microsoft just taking L's. They've been taking L's this whole generation.
Right.
Man,
They just taking them.
God, thank you, Lord, for telling me to go on and get that PlayStation 5. Or don't fool yourself this year. I was about to get that big old black, nice looking box. Because I believe it's the more powerful box. But some said you already experienced the Microsoft experience with the 360. I mean, not the 360, but the one. Don't do it this generation. That's what hit me. I was like, no, man, I ain't no Sony guy. I don't want to get Sony my money before. I went on and got that. Thank you for that game they put on there. What was that game? The demo they put on there. Anyway,
Oh yeah, it's,
uh,
Astrobot.
Astrobot got your boy. That's what saved me. Thank you, Astrobot. Thank you, haptic feedback. Because your boy made the right decision this time around. But anyway, so let's go to this last subject. And that is the Breath of the Wild demo.
No, wait. We're not gonna talk about the Unrecord.
Oh yeah. We'll skip Breath of the Wild. We'll talk about Breath of the Wild last.
No, but the Unrecord is just me, right? We can.
I'm gonna pull it. I'm pulling it in right now. It's coming up.
We can just still do the Nintendo. Let's get Nintendo talking.
No. Keith don't really want to talk about. Keith don't want to talk about it.
I listen to you. I don't want
no, you don't want to talk about it. You don't want to talk about it, Keith. No, you don't want to talk about it. You ain't gonna leave me out here on my own. You don't want to talk about it. I may spoil something.
I watched the video. I can talk
okay, so let me set this up because we had an hour, so I touch on the Tears of the Kingdom after your take on this game. Unrecord, and you better go upstairs, little girl. Go on up there with your cheerleading. Go on. So Unrecord is this game that I think it was it you, Kbomb, that put this up?
No, that was me.
It was Keith. Okay. Go on upstairs, boo-boo. You can't play that on the Wii. That's the PlayStation Switch. That's a PlayStation 5 game.
Uh-oh.
All right. They want to play Sackboy. So anyway, sorry y'all, father mode. Lord, they just unbombarded my man K. Anyway, so Kbomb was out of town when we had this discussion, and Keith and I came to the conclusion this is too real for me. So I want to get Kbomb's take since he's here. So I'm gonna play it. Fair use. Kbomb, the floor is yours. What do you think about this Unrecord, ultra realistic game?
Man, so my take. So when I saw the game, man, it reminds me because they use the Unreal technology for movies now, right? So that's I forget what they call it. I forget what the device is actually called. I know the Mandalorian uses the Volume. That's the name of it. The Volume. Which is used in the Mandalorian. Ant-Man used it, which uses the Unreal Engine as a part of it, right?
I didn't know that. That's new.
First thing in this game, the first thing you think is this can't be a game. It has to be fake. It looks too realistic. And then you look and actually take it in, you find out it's a game. So I was going to give you a fake reaction, but I'm gonna give you my real deal because we don't have enough time to get into all of it. So I'm gonna give you the real deal, Kbomb, and what he thought. This is exactly what I want, where I want gaming.
I knew this was you. Whoa. I knew exactly where you was gonna go. Keith, this is not even shocking. I knew exactly what this graphics junkie over here. I knew exactly what he was gonna say. Go ahead.
I'm not even gonna play.
I'm not gonna say the other way. I'll call you a graphics junkie. I can't be using the other term. But anyway,
I saw this game. I'm like,
I knew it.
Chef's kiss. Move the industry. Move boulders.
Keith, I knew what he was gonna say.
I'll tell you this. To me, this game proves to me, and hopefully the other people, that gaming is not just for children. This is not a game I want in children's hands. I do not want this in children's hands. I do not want to see eight-year-old Billy playing this game. I don't. It is way too realistic.
Billy playing it. My God.
Okay, let me move forward. Let me keep going. I don't want to see this in the 8-year-old's hand. I don't. I don't want to see it in Akeem's hand, and I don't want to see it in Billy's hand. I want, but as a grown up, as a now 40-year-old man, absolutely, man. Absolutely, I would love to have this experience because I would never shoot a person in real life, but in the video game, I will blow your head off. So I.
This dude
So no,
right here,
to me,
bro.
this is an adult experience, right? And this is why I love video games because you can make stuff for kids like Sackboy, Astrobot, all in Nintendo's catalog, and then you can have realistic games like this and be able to have the extremes of gaming because that's what it is, right? And
So
so
so let me throw let me
I
throw
think it's
this.
cool. I
Let me
think it's
throw you
cool.
this cold curveball. Let me do what me and Keith talked about. So
Yeah.
one of the points I brought up was the fact that I believe this is starting to blur the lines to where there could be some desensitizing taking place. And let me explain.
Mhm.
I've said I played Call of Duty with you guys. I've sat and watched you play Call of Duty. I've sat and watched others play Call of Duty, right? I mean Call of Duty. My bad. Call of Turk. I mean what? Yeah, Call of Duty. I mean Call of Duty. Um, so, but when I'm watching it, as good as it look, as realistic as it look, it still maintains its I'm not real
Yep.
feeling. Like I can still tell this is a game. This is not real. So my mind processes that in that way that this is not real. So, but when I'm watching this, this looks real. Like if you did not tell me this was a game, I would have thought I was watching a cop replay an incident where he was in New York or Chicago and had to chase down a suspect and take his life.
Yep.
Do you have a concern that even for adults that this is getting too close to one-to-one realism? Because
Absolutely.
I can see cops being trained by this type of stuff.
But that's the good thing. So
That's
there's
good?
two pieces to it.
Okay,
So
go
two
ahead.
piece to this.
All right.
I fully believe that this is blurring the line, and I do have a fear, a cautious fear of the desensitizing that this game can create. I do believe that, and for the minds who can't take this and separate real life from fake, it's going to be an issue for those, and that's why. The biggest thing to me is I don't want to see children play this, but there's still some adults that should not play this at all, right? Because those are the ones who visualize killing their boss every day, and that yeah, you don't want that level of desensitizing happening to even adults, right? But
Right.
on the good thing, I would absolutely love if law enforcement was trained in this manner, because this puts them in a real life situation and can teach them how to handle real life situations to a place where when they do get into it in real life, it doesn't seem foreign, and maybe they can go without firing their gun into an innocent person. Right? This is a training, could be a training resource to even prevent deaths. And this is actually the second part I wanted to go in my conversation, is the fact that this can be a tool, right? This a game in this fashion, this level of realism can help police officers not kill people, right? And I think it could lead to less deaths, if you want to be completely honest. I'm gonna say something else. So there's a game now that the military created for to teach their military how to move as a unit. The game is called oh crap, I just lost the name of the game. Yeah, America's Army, I think, something like that. I forget the name of the game. America's Army, I think, is the name of the game. But
Okay.
it was created by the government. Created this game, and they used it to teach their military. So it's not even a foreign concept that video games can be used to teach law enforcement or to teach our military how to do things properly. And this level of realism allows them to experience it without experiencing it, which means when they come up to it in real life, it's not foreign, and they don't have that flight or fight reaction, and innocently kill someone that doesn't deserve to be killed. Right. So that's kind of my take on this.
Okay, Keith, I don't want to leave you out of this conversation, bro. What's your thoughts on Kbomb's take?
Man, you know it's already in my queue.
That's
I
right.
want. I told y'all that last week. Like I understood exactly where you were coming from. That uncanny valley. I understand that 100%. But dude, I want to see it. I want to play it. I want to see what it's going to be about.
Y'all are not trying to do the greater good
No.
for society, man.
No,
Y'all
and
are going to
then-
cause us to slip into darkness that we can't recover. No, man, I'm not going to preach to y'all. Go ahead.
It's not even about this game per se. It's about, like Kbomb said, it's about pushing the needle and moving the industry forward. It ain't even about this game. It's about this technology and being able to use Unreal Engine 5 and making games look even better. Making things just look even better.
Right.
I mean, that's why, you know, I agree with him 100%. I didn't even think about the whole training and stuff like that, because I know some
Right.
doctors have been using like VR and stuff like that to train, and so yeah.
That was a drone that came through there. My thing is this. Like, okay, I can see. I concede, and I can see. Look at that. That's that rapper in me, man. Them double entendres and stuff. And we're not double. Anyway, I can see where y'all going, and I see that this has its place, because like we talked last week, Keith, I can definitely see a zombie apocalypse like this. To where that can really freak you out when you got zombies chasing you through a realistic world like this. I can see that, and I would probably give that a go. I don't know though if I want to see games this realistic across the board. Like, do I want The Last of Us to look like this? Do I want Uncharted to look like this? Do I want what's her name? Laura Croft. What's the name of that game?
Tomb Raider.
Tomb Raider to look like this. Do I want or do I want it to look like it currently look but better? And I think that's what I want. Like what they currently look like, just with more bells and whistles and better. This, to me, this takes me out of the fantasy world. Like, it's like I'm in the real world. And I don't know about I feel like, is that real escapism? Like, are we removing, I'm going to the real world to escape the real world. That's what this looks like to me. So I don't know if it's for me. A game or two like this, yes. But the whole spectrum starting to go this real, I don't know. I don't know if I would want that.
But it's not even saying that every game is going to look like this.
I know.
But,
I'm just saying.
But what it does is it shows games that you can do more than what you're doing.
Yeah,
right?
but I think that's already true, though.
No. This,
not to this level, but I still think games.
I understand, but there still has to be a guy that says you can do even more than that.
Right.
And that's what, to me, that's what this game is doing. There are games that saying, you know, like even the game that comes out at the wrong time just gets flack because they released it at the wrong time. Horizon.
Right.
Their game.
I would rather
like
play I'd rather play Horizon style looking game than this. That's
right. But I'm not. What you got to say? We're saying, we're not saying that I want every game to look like this. I don't.
Right.
But I want games, because you have to understand. Remember the conversations I used to talk about. I want to see the sweat bead off my basketball player's head. Right. I want to see that level.
So
of
you want to see basketball look this? That may be dope. Now I get with basketball and football and stuff like that. Yeah, I'm with you.
I want to not be able to know that this is a real game. This is a game of real life. I want to walk in and be like, what is this? Is this game or real life? When playing basketball, yes, I want that level. I want to see the stripes on a fastball and be able to tell if it's a slider or a fastball by just by looking at the rotation of the ball. I want that level of realism
Man,
when I'm
Lord,
playing, like
Kbomb, Lord, Jesus.
for certain stuff, right?
You geeking out over here, ain't you?
I'm just being. This is what I've always said. Is I've always been very honest about graphics and how I feel about it. And so it would be weird for me to say, "Oh, this is just too real." No, I've been acting for real. Now, like I said, I don't want every game like this. Every
I'm
game
with
shouldn't
you.
be this, right?
Okay.
And that's why we have games that are cell shaded. We have games that are using a different color palette. You have games that focus on being recorded, and
So
games
you
that are
say
first person,
I see what you're
games are
saying.
third person, right?
You saying
Yeah.
that they showing you that even with the graphic you could push. They showing you how far you could push it even with the graphics. So
Yes.
because I
Yep.
think Tears
That
of the Kingdom,
environment, man,
I
that
think
environment
Tears
is
of the
crazy.
Kingdom is a good game to show how you can push gameplay. You know, Tears of the Kingdom. We still talking about this one. What you say, Keith?
I thought you was finna try to
I was.
bring that in.
I was messing with you. I was messing with you and K-Bump. But go ahead. What was you saying?
No, I was just saying the environments on that game was crazy. Can you just imagine the environments of other games? Like, even if the characters still look fake, I mean, i.e. Sonic, in the real world, the environment's enough to be like, yo, I feel like I'm actually here in this
Yeah.
place.
If they get the sound down, man, this would be like playing a
The-
literal movie.
That's why I play
Now-
video games.
now
I play
let me
video
ask you
games
this.
because it's an interactive movie.
Let me ask you
So
this.
absolutely.
With this type, okay, this is a what is that? Body cam.
Yeah. Body
Do
cam.
you like the franticness? Like, could you play
Absolutely.
with it? You can play with the jiggies and the way it's
Absolutely.
moving. Like that wouldn't make you motion sick.
No.
Okay.
For right now, just looking at it, no, because
Okay.
it's not. It is slow movement until the fighting.
Okay.
Right? It's slow movement, and even the muzzle flash and the smoke from the gun after you fire it, and the depth perception and the motion blur of this game. Everything when I watch this game just screams like this is realistic, and like I want to play this. Like and the fact that even I don't know. I thought it was cool. I thought it was amazing.
No, it was
I thought
cool.
it
Nah,
looked
hey,
beautiful.
don't get it twisted. Everything I see here is absolutely amazing. I would tell you this though, for me, I couldn't have got around the corner as soon as he came in. My eyes would have been watering with all them jiggers and jump. It looked real though. It looked real, but now I couldn't play it trying to aim down the barrel and shoot. I go upstairs drunk. My wife had to give me some something to. I know I did that a few times in a few games. Go ahead.
But that's the beauty of it though, because I can't imagine this game being like enemy wave after wave after wave after wave.
40-hour experience.
Yeah,
Yeah.
No way.
I don't think it's going to be like that. I think it's one of if it ever comes out and actually be a game, I can't see it doing that because that's not realistic. You
Right.
watch those TV shows, may see like 2 or 3 people.
Right.
You don't see on video games. They just doing that to make it fun and interesting and challenging.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, no, I couldn't handle no 25, 30 people shooting from all angles in a game like this. I turn it off like y'all this ain't realistic.
I think it is realistic because you over there in panic and like I can't do it.
Right. So
There's bullets everywhere.
but no, man, I'm glad to get your take, K-Bum. So you and Keith kind of standing on the same island. So I'm gonna go ahead
I'm
and
excited.
go to this Sky Island here in Tears of the Kingdom, and y'all want to talk about Tears of the Kingdom?
Yeah,
I want to hear what you got to say.
So,
I got some.
all right, so
No, I don't want to hear it. No, that's fine.
now I'm scared to show it, but of course there was a what would you call it, Keith? A few YouTubers and different ones in the industry was invited to a special place by Nintendo to get first hands on Tears of the Kingdom. They had a demo of the game set up for them to play the kind of beginning parts of the title. So my boy Keith decided that he has gotten all the Tears of the Kingdom engagement until the game comes out, and I think he's doing the right thing. Even though I don't believe there's anything that he hasn't already seen in the other trailers, but but I am really excited about this game, and what they have shown is really. I want to show it, but I know I'm scared the Nintendo people will come and get me.
The ninjas.
But I'm a try. I'm gonna say fair use, but I'm gonna pause this. So, first thing I want to say is one of my major concerns was, and I couldn't really tell from all the other trailers. Keith, I ain't gonna play it. I'm gonna skip through it. Was the visuals. I was scared that, like I told you guys, I wanted to get kind of back into the feel of Breath of the Wild and getting prepared for Tears of the Kingdom. I put it back in and quickly realized, no, this is not looking quite as good as it did day one, and so that was a real concern for me. With them going back into this world, basing it off being basically the same engine. One thing I believe I can say is that is no longer concerned. Keith, that's why I wanted you to see it. The lighting in this game, the lighting effects in this game is amazing to me. It makes it look it's just totally cleaner. And just more vivid. You can really tell, even by the YouTube clips, that this game looks noticeably better and runs noticeably better than the Breath of the Wild counterpart. Now, I did listen to a few that played it that said that when they was using Ultra Hand, that they noticed some drag and some slowdown. But they also said this is a demo and possibly an early pre-build they may have already addressed. And that's one thing Nintendo is good at, is addressing those type of things. So, man, this game right here, dude, man, is going to be, to me, game of the year. Since Keith didn't watch it, I'm going to say this. I'm even the more hyped for this title. Seeing them fight this base, going up here to fight this base to access this tower, just really shows that this game is on another scale than Breath of the Wild. It clearly lets you know that there has been more thought put into it, more detail put into it. It just feels different. It feels like, yes, you're in a familiar place, but it's a different world. That's what it feels like to me. I feel like there is clearly signs that there's dungeons in this title. The things that Link can do, man, it's just almost too much. They said Ultra Hand is basically almost unlimited. So, without saying any more, because Keith ain't gonna let me get.
I got a question.
Go ahead.
Would you argue, based on everything that you've seen, based on everything that you know about this game so far, could you argue a point to say Breath of the Wild was a tech demo, and this is the game that you've been waiting on?
Would I argue to say that Breath of the Wild was a tech demo? No. Yeah. I would say, okay. Yes and no, depending on what because I think tech demo is too small. I think it was definitely a trial. I think it was definitely a bunch of ideas that came into a game, and they let us try it out. I don't think they fully realized what they was trying to do with Breath of the Wild. I will say that. I won't say it was a tech demo, but explain what you mean by tech demo.
Like you just said, they were testing something out. They went completely away from the conventions of a typical Zelda game. They allowed you to go out of order. They allowed you to go to the end of the game. This game, Breath of the Wild, had almost unlimited things you can do, and you can interact with the world.
Okay.
There were so many things to do, but there was one glaring aspect that to me wasn't very strong,
And
and
that
that
was
was the
Zelda.
story.
That was Zelda. It was the Zelda. The world of Zelda was not in Breath of the Wild, even though it was in Breath of the Wild. That makes sense.
I can agree to that.
There was a lot of things that were not Zelda like happening in this Zelda world, but I was there for all of it. So I would say on that tip, Keith, I would say yes. I would say it was a extremely ambitious tech demo that became a great game. And this game is actually Zelda in that world now. They figured out how to bring Zelda things and not just bring Zelda things to this world, but to go beyond what we could imagine with a Zelda game. So that's looking at this makes me feel like, yes, Breath of the Wild was an ambitious idea to break from the linear A, B, C, D method of Zelda, but they didn't know how to bring the world of Zelda into that world yet. And I believe this game, they figured it out, how to bring the Skyward Sword, the Twilight Princess, the Ocarina of Time experience to Breath of the Wild. Then they took all the things that Breath of the Wild, the gamers discovered in the coding of Breath of the Wild, how broken and free it was, and they added that to it. I don't think that was the original plan, to allow you to fuse all this stuff and build all these contraptions with Ultra Hand. I believe the gamers and the culture that was built with Breath of the Wild, that's what they pushed it back for. But this is actually them realizing the Zelda universe in Breath of the Wild world, and then they added all the stuff that we were doing in it and gave us even like, oh, y'all like doing it? Okay, we'll give you a tool to do all that and then some. So this game seems to be kind of just, it seems to be over the top, but it seems like this shouldn't work, but it's working, if that makes sense. It seems like Ultra Hand should just break everything. It seems like a sin should just break everything. It seems like to be able to fuse this and that to you should break the game, but it's not. It's not.
We don't know that yet.
I don't think.
No, we don't know that.
I think I can make an education. Listen,
No.
let me say. I
It's
feel like
an assumption.
I'm finna say that. I'm saying. I'm giving you credence. I feel like I can make that statement. It is not. You're right. It's not a fact yet, but I believe, just like we said with Mario, that I believe that it's not going to break the game based on what I've been seeing, Kbomb, all the stuff I've watched, and this is just the beginning part.
But
God!
But you have to understand that this is not even in people's hands yet, for real. This is not in people's hands that's actually going to go out here and break the game, right?
No,
and show you how easy you can get to the game through the game if one of these mechanics is fully broken. Right, and how it breaks the game, makes it too easy to play because they gave you something at the beginning. That's not a good thing.
Listen to me.
So I'll let you go because I have a lot I want to say.
I'm going to open the floor to you, but let me say this.
Mm-hmm.
That is built into. That's what I'm trying to say. It's clearly that Nintendo has. Look at this world. Look at the stuff we've seen that really just seems so out of place to what we're used to. And Keith, you can attest to this. There's a lot of things in that last trailer that is far beyond anything we've ever even thought in a Zelda game, right? Am I wrong to say that? The gravity jumping, the falling with all the lasers. But when you see what they're doing, it's like, okay, how far and what am I going to have to face that's going to require me to master that stuff and get to the place to what you talking about, Kbomb, that I can break it to achieve my goal. That's what Breath of the Wild was. Go where you want, figure it out, and they start figuring out crazy ways to get over this. And
we're talking about two different things, and I'll discuss it more when I'm referring.
Go ahead, it's your floor. Your floor. My bad.
Okay. So I did want to jump on Keith's comment really quickly. I will disagree. I do not think that the Breath of the Wild was a tech demo to what Tears of the Kingdom is. I believe that this, to me, what I've seen of this game, this is what they've done is they've taken the frame of Breath of the Wild, and they've thrown new tools into the sandbox. That's the image I have of this. Is that it's the frame of Breath of the Wild with so many new tools that it no longer really looks like Breath of the Wild. But I will defend Breath of the Wild's greatness as far as being considered. No, I know. I'm just saying to even consider it, to say a toolbox. I mean, not toolbox. Sorry, to label this kind of a tech demo. No, I think it was fully fleshed out, and it did exactly what they wanted to do. And I think this is just them increasing their creatability. Right, what they can do for the game. They're taking like, okay, well, how can we take it to the next level? So I'm gonna say that piece. Second piece, I want to say the piece that I was thinking about when I saw this video is that none of this that I've watched so far, to me, makes a person who didn't like Breath of the Wild want to play Breath of the Wild. To me, what I saw was Breath of the Wild with new tools.
We saw totally two different things.
If you didn't like
totally different.
If you didn't like Breath of the Wild, there was nothing in here that made me want to say, you know what, I now want to play Tears of the Kingdom, because I saw this. I'm like, nope, yep, I seeing that. Yep, that's new. You say what?
None of the story elements.
No, nothing I've seen so far makes me want to play this game. This game will be a hard pass for me.
See, I think. Can I?
But. No, I'm gonna get to my piece because I want to say this as well. When I talk about, I'll say the same thing for, what is that? God of War, Ragnarok. Nothing about God of War Ragnarok would have made people who didn't like the first God of War want to play this.
Not a good comparison, but go ahead.
Perfectly fine with me. But nothing that God of War Ragnarok that I thought made people want to play it. They didn't like the first one. You didn't like it. You're not gonna pretty much like this one either. It's gonna be very similar. So, get to my final point. Right, when I talk about breaking the game, when I refer to breaking the game, isn't it gives you, like, they're going to give you this overpowerful person that you're going to need to be able to learn to use all of these tools and master it in order to beat that person. That's absolutely not what I'm talking about. What I'm talking about is that you can use the same 2-3 moves, items, strategy, and beat the rest of the game with it because it's that broken. That's what I mean by broken. That if you can use the same two things, 3 either items or strategy, and you can beat the entire game with it because it's that broken. That's what I mean. That is not what you want in your game. You do not want this. You do no. You do not want 2-3 strategies to be used, not even the full repertoire. You take one weapon, one thing, and you can do that and beat every boss with it, beat the entire game with it. That is not a well thought out game. That is a broken game that you did not create balance in the way that your weapons work, or your not just the weapons, but the way that the game plays. That is not a good thing. And I have not met a game that I've liked if I can use the same moves from the beginning of the game to end the game and be able to beat it. That is not a satisfying experience.
Okay, so let me address what you just said. That's okay. I agree with you that that's if you can, what you described, it would be game breaking when you can get overpowered abilities. That's not what I mean with this, because I don't think Ultra Hand breaks the game. I think Ultra Hand gives, if you got enough creativity, you can do some unexpected things in a world that's asking you to do that. Whereas what you're describing, the world is not asking you to do that, and it breaks the game because they didn't even. Wait, let me finish. Let me finish.
No. I'm not saying that. I'm saying like if there's a combo, say you're playing a game like God of War, and there's a combo that is so overpowered, you can use that same combo from the beginning of the game to the end.
That's what I'm describing.
They want you to use that combo. It's not out of the game. They want you to use that combo, but it's not balanced.
I was going exactly where you was going. But sometimes they come back to that character with that overpowered combo and they neuter it. Because they realize, okay, we didn't assess how over powerful that move is and how cheap it is. That's not what I'm seeing here, because I may not think to use Ultra Hand. It's so free to use it however your creativity can use. It's not a move set. It's an ability. It's not one-to-one comparison with like giving Kratos this weapon that's just so powerful. You swing it and he just killing everything and it's just OP. That's not Ultra Hand. Ultra Hand only allows you to craft stuff. If your creativity is, you can craft things that I may not ever think to craft. That's what's different. It's not going to be the.
If you can craft the same, okay, let me put it in the aspect you're saying. If you can craft the same three things, and you can beat the rest of the game with just crafting those three things, that's what I'm trying to tell. I'm trying to tell you that's what I mean by being overpowered. I can take the same three things and craft, despite of all the creativity that you can do. But if all the creativity is not as powerful as these three things that I can craft, I can beat the entire game. That is a broken system.
No, but that's what I'm saying. I don't see any evidence of what you're describing in the game at all. That's my point.
I do. The way they talk about Ultra Hand, it's being they do talk about overhand as being possibly overpowered what it can do.
Yeah,
and there's a possibility. There's a possibility when you have something that useful that it can create something that powerful.
But listen
I'm not saying that it's in the game.
Listen to me,
Kbomb. The possibility of
listen
it is there.
I agree with you, but they're making that statement only off of the first introduction of the beginning stages. They have not even gotten into the game. They just doing that in the area. They letting them do it, and it's OP there. It's meant to be OP there, but I guarantee knowing Nintendo.
Okay, that is an assumption still, but I'll
just like okay, prime example. Let's use Breath of the Wild for an example. Keith, jump in here whenever you feel the need. In Breath of the Wild, they said go where you want to go. Get there. You can go straight to the boss if you want to. There are some people that probably went to the boss with 3 hearts and beat him. But 99.9% ain't doing that. You see what I'm saying? Go ahead. That's my point. Go ahead, Keith, if you got something to add.
I ain't got nothing.
No, so that's my point. It's not a one-to-one comparison. Yeah, I went to face Calamity Ganon and couldn't even get through the castle, but I got there. I had to go and build myself up. Some people are just that skilled; they can do that. So
I'm not referring to skill.
So I'm saying there's no weapon in the game that you can craft that's going to allow you to go through because it's going to break. They still break.
I understand. We don't know what all you can do with the game,
right?
Because just referring to like some of the other things, like I've seen in games that give you the thing and becomes overpowered. I'm just saying that I do believe the possibility of the what they've given you can be. I don't know if it is, but I believe the possibility is there and overlooked that.
Yes.
No, I think everything does have I think everything in the game that they allow you to build with these tools does have a kryptonite.
Yeah,
and the main one, like Level said, is the breaking.
The batteries, all that stuff.
Yeah, it's like it's kind of like, oh, I finally got the Master Sword, but even with that on Breath of the Wild, you couldn't go crazy with the Master Sword. You had to put it up sometimes.
You had to let it charge and that's my point. So that's what I'm trying to say. But with this game, taking what Keith said, you can craft a weapon that seems, man, this is it, but it's gonna break. So you're gonna have to find something. You may be in a spot where you don't have none of those weapons there. So the weapon that you had that was OP broke because you used it too many times. It broke. Now you got to figure out another weapon to create. And that's what I'm saying about this game is, and looking at the stuff that they are showing you, Nintendo has a way of making you utilize everything they give you access to. They have a way of forcing you to utilize it all at a real high level towards to get to the end. Unlike, okay, if Kbomb20 take Kratos. Halfway through the game, you didn't need no more weapons to beat that game. I didn't need the spear. I didn't need honestly, I didn't need anything past the axe and the Blaze of Chaos.
To beat the game, but you couldn't get through it without the spear.
You couldn't, I mean, yeah, they made the spear with certain bosses relevant. You couldn't beat that one boss without that spear, and you couldn't traverse to certain things and get certain extra trinkets without that spear to get to that ledge or whatnot. But you didn't need the spear to beat Odin. You didn't need the spear to beat Thor. You only needed the spear to beat that one boss. Whereas in Breath of the Wild, I guarantee you, based on all of the prior Zelda titles, every weapon you get, you're going to have to use it to get through the game, to the boss, to beat that boss. All of them tools going to be, you're going to have to use. Matter of fact, they said with, what is it? Not return, but, recall. There are bosses that you need to use recall on.
That's kind of dope.
It's a lot. That's what I'm trying to say. It's a lot that's been, it looks OP at these early stages, but when you see the dome floating, I'm like, man, nah, this is going to be a hard game. And Zelda, and Keith, you know what I'm talking about. When you start getting into the later parts of the older Zelda games, it start getting hard. And I was like, I can imagine building this special weapon that you like, and it's beautiful, and it takes a lot of damage, and then you run across a lion. Right.
You have to that weapon by the end of that battle. That weapon probably gonna be broken unless you run away.
So right, and you starting to see a lot of different enemy types. You got the big boblins, whatever you call them. Goblin looking through bogoblins. You got the big one now. That's towering like the one-eye Cyclops, whatever that is in the original one. We haven't even seen all the different. So what I'm saying is, and I'm not saying Kbomb you wrong. I'm just saying I playing as many Zelda games I've played, especially the 3D ones. They like,
but none of them have had the have what you see now in this game. None of them have had that.
You're right.
None of them have had that. This is the uniqueness of it. I understand what you're saying. I completely understand.
But there are other weapons in other older games that I would consider game breaking.
I understand, but the uniqueness of what you can do here does kind of may change the game, and just history may not be the best teacher.
Right. I'm gonna give you credence that what you're saying is possible. I'm not gonna write it off. What I was finna add to what I was saying is I feel like there's gonna be some soul-like aspects to this title. Huh?
I thought you were gonna say enemies.
Yeah, I do. I feel like there's gonna be some soul like enemies and things you have to face in this game that's going to be ridiculously hard. That's what I'm seeing. And I'm like, man, yeah, they tantalizing us with all this early stuff, but this game going to be hard at some points. It's going. I believe you're going to hear a lot of people say, man, I wasn't expecting this game to be that hard. Twilight Princess after a while got hard. Like, man, this is Wind Waker. It got long and like, man, I got to go back. I got to figure out. that's why I believe we're going to get a challenging game towards the middle to end when you finally get to your full power and the story really opens up. I think it's going to be hard with all the batteries and all the stuff you got to get. It's going to be hard, so I think it's going to balance itself out. That's what I'm trying to say. I think this stuff is going to balance itself out. And what seemed to be OP is going to be very much vital to you traversing and getting around. You're going to really have to think through some stuff. That's what I believe. So I'm not going to write off what you're saying. You're right. It could possibly be OP and break the game. And I'm pretty sure for some, they will break the game. They're going to figure they just that freaking good. But for the average, most cats, they're gonna be barely making it through this game. That's what I think.
Because I'm telling you, because what happens, especially when you stuff like Call of Duty. Let's say Call of Duty or even Madden, because people don't work at getting good at games anymore. What they do, they go out there and find that YouTuber who finds the best loadout for weapons, and they just use that. Or they go to YouTubers for Madden and find the best 4 plays, and they just use that, right? Especially, it's a little bit different when you're talking about single players. A lot of single player people just want to play the game for their experience. So you have that going for you. But if someone finds the best loadout for Zelda or the best 3 weapons equipped, then you can beat the whole game. There's going to be people that's going to absolutely do it, and because they don't want the challenge, they just want they just want to win.
But then when the loadout breaks, and you
but you can if you get enough of the resources, you can just make another one. You can store the resources. So it's not always a matter of it breaks. You just make another one because you can store up.
If I had this, that's my point. Yeah, okay, all right, but okay, I see what you're saying. I don't feel like that's really. I don't really see that with Breath of the Wild. I didn't see that really in Breath of the Wild, but you could be right. I'm not gonna argue against. There is possible. I believe certain parts gonna be easy because of the powers. I think it is. I think early on. Let me get up on my mic. I think early on it's going to be like, man, this is a cakewalk. Almost like you said with Kirby, Keith. But you know how Nintendo do. It was the same way with Luigi's Mansion. It was a cakewalk until you got to like the 6th, 7th level. And all of a sudden, like, now I got to really master this new mechanic I got and use it all the time. It got hard. It got real hard. And so the same with Metroid Dread. It seemed like a cakewalk until they made you start using all that stuff you had. You had to really. So Nintendo got a way. If they giving you all these powers and all these abilities, right. If there's one company that I know for a fact is going to force you to use it, it's them. It ain't like Sony. It ain't like Microsoft. They give it to you, but really don't. Really, it doesn't play into the design of all the bosses you're going to be facing. That's Nintendo. They won't do that. That Ultra Hand going to play into the design of the bosses, the puzzle pieces, the traversal, and when they ready to get challenging and really pull your head, they do it. And then you be like, man, now I gotta go gather this. I gotta go find that. I got to go over here and find this spot, get up to that cliff to get that piece to add to my craft to fly. That's what I mean. That's when I think it's going to balance out.
Okay.
So, limitations up to a certain point. Right. Any other thoughts, Keith? But I'm excited for this game. I don't think I've been excited for a game like this in a minute. This game to me is, I'm excited for this game. That's why
I actually have so the game I'm more excited about is actually should be coming in the mail probably next week.
Yeah, it's Star Wars.
Star Wars that should be coming in. So
yeah, I was about to get it. And I was like,
hoping by the time you get it, they earn out them bugs.
Oh, they send us bugs in this one.
on all platforms: PC,
Oh,
PS5,
really? I haven't heard about that.
everybody. Yep.
I haven't seen the reviews.
Really?
Yes, I was gonna
Oh
get
man.
it. I was gonna get it. I was gonna go to the store and buy it tomorrow. And I told Keith, I was like, you know what? I know if I get this game, it's just gonna be sitting on the shelf in 2 weeks. So I was like, I'm not even gonna waste my time. I'm gonna wait. I'm gonna wait. That's why I didn't get Resident Evil 4 remake. I'm like, I'm not. Once Breath of the Wild comes, I'm not gonna be playing any of those games. I'm a one-woman man. You know what I'm saying? When I'm in a relationship with a girl, I'm in there with you, boo-boo. And it's gonna be Zelda.
Zelda till we die.
It's gonna be Zelda till I'm done. Yeah. So
That's funny.
yeah. But anyway,
That's legit. That's legit.
yeah. So any final thoughts? Keith, you was kind of quiet on this segment, man. What? Any final thoughts?
Nah, man, I was actually trying to hear what Kbomb from a person who didn't really play it versus a person who played. So I'll just sit there
No,
and listen.
no. I put 20 hours in. Don't say I ain't really played now. I didn't enjoy
Man,
it.
you ain't did nothing. No
my
20
bad,
hours
my
in
bad.
Breath of the Wild.
Please go and check. Can't you check how long I play games on the
Did you
Nintendo?
get off the
Look,
Great
look,
Plateau?
my bad.
Did you
Please
get off
go
the?
check.
Did you get off the Great Plateau?
Yes. Please go check
He
how
did.
much I
forgot.
played
He
that
did.
game.
Forgot. He
Well,
did.
how far
Please.
did you? How many hearts you had?
I have no idea. But I know if you check how long I played the game, I think it was about 20 hours I put in that game. Come on, don't do me like that.
He did.
But you can run around for 10
Mhm,
hours
yeah.
and not.
Yeah, right. That's exactly what I did. I ran around for 20 hours. Right. A person who doesn't like open world game ran around for 20 hours. Exactly.
My bad. No, because
Don't
we
do
did.
me.
He did because we gave him his props for even
Yeah, we
trying.
did.
So.
Yeah, we did.
Okay.
Did you ever get the Master Sword?
No, I didn't get a Master Sword.
You didn't even have to fight.
I
Did you fight
like-
any of the Divine Beast?
We talked about it. I don't think I actually got to him because I was doing all the other side. Well, I didn't know it was side stuff, but it was side stuff. I didn't even get to the.
Yeah,
Master,
you missed.
the beast.
Yeah. Okay.
Yep.
No. I mean, hey, did you see any of the shrines for the dragons?
I did a bunch of shrines, but I don't know about no dragon.
Okay. All right. Trying to see what you actually experienced in the game. It seems like you just did a whole bunch of the little small shrines. I said,
No,
forget this game.
I was no man. I was trying to do the story and do. I saw a bunch of the cutscenes. I'm like, this is.
Oh, you was finding the cut, so I see why you hated this game. I hated it for that part of Breath of the Wild was boring. Finding them all them cutscenes and they was boring when you finally saw them. Like, this wasn't even worth my time.
It wasn't.
Yeah, I agree with you on them, but there's other stuff in Breath of the Wild. But anyway, I think I can say, Keith, I don't think it's a glorified tech demo, but I can say, looking at what they're doing here, it could be considered, like you said, a glorified tech demo.
But the main reason I'm saying that is because I feel like, and I think y'all have convinced me that the story elements moving forward with the Tears of the Kingdom, I think they're going to be a lot deeper. They're going to be a lot more expanse.
Yeah.
Since now that we actually have Ganondorf back, and I know a lot of people get confused. It's always Ganondorf. No, it ain't. We barely get Ganondorf, and now that he's finally back, yeah, we're gonna see what they're talking about.
Yeah, man. Yeah, absolutely. And the reason I say what I'm saying, I believe they figured out how to give us the Zelda experience in the Breath of the Wild world is why I'm excited. This feels like Breath of the Wild was fun, but it didn't feel like the Zelda experience. Even though I was there for it because I knew they was trying to break away. So I was there for it, but now it's like, okay, we figured it out. Now we're going to bring the Zelda experience to Breath of the Wild. And they upped it an ante. And then looking at what they doing, I believe we in for a treat, man. I really do. Nintendo's creativity and some of the stuff, they be out the box. And it looked like they went out the freaking blocks with this Zonai stuff.
It's a sandbox. It's a sandbox of things you can do. It's very unique.
I think it's a sandbox, but I think it's more linear in nature in a sandbox world is still going to have a linear feel. Notice they didn't say you could go.
I'm talking about like the way you can attack things. They showed all the different ways you can attack a certain base.
Right.
They showed like 5 different ways to do it, which is very cool.
Yeah, I like that. But notice have you noticed this? They have yet to say you can go wherever you want when you want to go. They haven't said that yet.
I guess you could say you could assume that based off but
yeah, you can assume it, but they haven't said it. And looking at some of this stuff, it's gonna be places you could probably access it if you willing to go through all that to access it. You possibly can with all the contraptions and everything they allow you to access. But for the most part, it's going to deter people from going to that. Most ain't going to go through that extreme, and I think it's going to encourage people to follow a linear path through a very open world. That's what I see with this game. It's going to be linear in feeling, even though it's open. I don't feel like it's going to be like Breath of the Wild. You could just tackle this stuff in any order you want to tackle it. And, man, in fact, just skip all of it, go straight to the castle. I don't think you can even access the castle at all. Almost like Ocarina of Time. You couldn't get in there unless you got to a certain ability. So that's what I see. But we'll see. Anyway, that was the show for tonight. You fellas got anything else you want to say?
No, it was a good show. We had a little bit of Xbox. I think I actually walked away knowing something that I didn't know, and I actually understand this whole blocking now. And I'm glad I understand it.
Sure.
Okay, DJ Fanatic said, I'm ready for it. Me too, bro. Me too. Kbomb said, what's a heart? Kbomb, how many hearts you have, bro?
You get hearts in the game?
Yeah, so like I said, man, I think when people are able to get into the story, Kbomb, I think you're gonna change your mind when you actually. I think the story is gonna be brilliant in this game. I think Nintendo listening to people with this game.
30 hours is what my Nintendo says. I played Zelda for it, so just put that.
This dude, boy, he making. You know how many I had? I had 100. I think I had 120 hours in Breath of the Wild. I had never put 100 and something hours in no game ever in my life. I put 100 hours in that game. 120 hours.
Okay, but how much you put in the Witcher? You know?
I think it was about 80. I beat the game with 60, and I put a little bit more after that. So I think it's probably around 70, which is the most I've ever played a single player game.
188 hours into the Witcher.
That's crazy, bro.
I think I put about 5 hours in that game.
Put 32 in The Witcher 2.
I can't get into The Witcher, man. I don't know what it is. I just can't get into it. It's okay, but I understand. Not every game is for everybody.
The greatest game of last generation.
Not to me. Nope.
I should crush you like you do when I talk about Zelda. You talk about the
I just said every game. I just said
you got, man.
I just said I ain't got nothing. If you ask me about, I don't have nothing in that title. I can barely pull. I forgot how to pull my weapons out. I told on myself, but no, I said, hey, every game ain't for everybody, and I realized Zelda Breath of the Wild may not be for you, man. I get it. I wish you would have played Ocarina of Time, though. I really do.
Not. You didn't play Ocarina of Time? Don't play it now, though. But you didn't play Ocarina of Time?
You can lose me at all that Zelda stuff.
Man, I wish you would have played that.
I played the Zelda on Nintendo back on the original Nintendo. I played one of those.
He played the Zeldas I didn't play, Keith.
And I played that. I'm like, even then, I'm like, this is too much reading. And I'm like, I'm done.
He played the Zeldas
I played on Final Fantasy. It's all the same thing.
Good night, guys. All right, good night, Alice Steve. All right, we gonna get out of here. This was the Live Level Gamers podcast. Go ahead and sound out, Kbomb.
No problem, man. Glad to be back. Glad to have you guys in the chat. enjoy the conversation. Even the banter with Zelda, I enjoyed having that conversation for a game I put 30 hours in. So no, I enjoyed it. Can't wait till next time we get to meet again and chop it up with some more game talk. Enjoy hanging out with the fellas.
Smash, bro. But we got smashed.
Go ahead, Mr. Norris.
Most definitely. Yeah, I can't wait to get Star Wars. But yeah, definitely a good show tonight. Man, we got a chance to chop it up. Like I said, I learned something tonight. And I learned something I don't think a lot of these Xbox gamers even know why they're even fighting. But it was a good show. I can't wait till Zelda comes out. I can't wait till we continue to talk about a lot of these games coming out. Man, I'm gonna talk about Redfall, and I'm gonna give it an honest opinion. I'm not even gonna try to hate on it. I'm not even gonna hate on it.
Okay. All right. Well, like I said, I
60 frames per second.
I enjoyed the podcast and I enjoyed the dialogue. Thank you for showing up, First Name Basis, aka DJ Fanatic. We also had Alan Steed up in this joint. What's up, bro? And all the rest that was tuning in live. We had a few people watching us on tonight, still watching. Be back next week, same time, same place. We three will be in your ear. Till then, deuces.
But we got smashed, bros, though. But